What's poppin', everybody? How are y'all doing? I'm about to pull up to my house. I'm in my neighborhood. Shit. I hope you guys are well. It's a really good day. It's Saturday, Saturn day. I just bought a bunch of books. I'm feeling good. I am continuing my education. That's how Jupiter retrograde goes about higher learning. You feel me? We self-educate. So today I want to tell you about the good news, my friend. We're going to talk about Chiron, okay? Because Chiron is the ruler of my chart. I feel like Chiron in the flesh sometimes. So Chiron is the rainbow bridge, right? What is Chiron? Let's talk about it first. It's very controversial what name tag we put on Chiron, because it looks like an asteroid, it looks like a planet. It's a little bit bigger than an asteroid. They're like, is it a comet? Nobody really knows. You can name tag everything in the universe to infinity, but what's the point? So the confusion is very congruent to the archetype of Chiron's energy, which is so cool, guys. And I am going to tell you a story about Chiron from mythology. And you guys know mythology is how we preserve allegory and energy through generations, oral tradition, right? So the mythology, the mythos of Chiron originates from Greek mythology, okay? So Chiron is the son of Saturn, Kronos. And if you guys look at the solar system, it's very cool that Chiron is literally the next step past Saturn, okay? Saturn is the 7th planetary body, if you include the sun and moon, right? And here we go pulling up so I can actually stop dividing my attention. Okay, sweet, here we go. So, it's the step past Saturn. Saturn being the physicality and the restriction and the limitations of the physical. You guys know, Saturn is the last planet you can see with the eye. Everything past, you need a telescope or, ooh, I'm locked up, or a satellite or something like that. The human eye just can't see it. So Chiron initiates us into those outer planets. So here's the story, guys. Chiron is the offspring of Saturn, who is the husband of Gaia, Mother Earth, right? Again, physicality and restriction. So basically, Saturn says, man, I am feeling down bad. I need to go get some, because I don't know what Gaia was doing. Maybe she wasn't satisfying him, or maybe he was just bored. He's like, you know what? Let's go mess with those nature spirits. So Saturn takes the form of a horse, right? And then he goes around the earth and he finds this nature spirit, this nymph called Philyra, okay? And he says, what's up, baby girl? Are you trying to, So yeah, they do. All right. She's pregnant. Oh, damn. So here's the thing. Here's where it gets great or bad. And then we can retribute the badness eventually. So Saturn has a whole ass wife, right? So he's like, oh, damn, I can't be baby daddy to another woman. I got to go back to Gaia. So he says, see ya, bitch. Bye-bye. Adios. Deuces. Deadbeat dad number 1. Damn it, Saturn. Like, that's a textbook deadbeat dad. So this nymph carries out her pregnancy. She gives birth to this baby. And this is Chiron, okay? But here's the thing. It's a literal mutant. She gave birth to a centaur, a half man on top, half horse on bottom. So she's like, what the fuck is this? I don't know how to deal with this, man. I wasn't ready for a centaur baby. So she's overwhelmed. My baby daddy won't pay child support. He's a deadbeat. I can't get him to pick up his phone. So she's like, fuck, dude, I can't do this. So she takes Chiron and leaves him by a river. And she abandons him. So he got abandoned not once, but twice. Damn. You guys know inheritance isn't all good. He inherited trauma and a literal mutation. That's cognitive dissonance, guys. Think about being a centaur. You have human intellect, logic, and reason, but animalistic traits and instincts and natures. Man, that's a disconnect. That's hard. That's hard. So, lucky for Chiron, Apollo, the sun god, has a complete awareness of everything because you're the sun. You give the whole world light and information. So he's like, oh shit, a centaur baby. So he like swoops it up. He's like, damn, what we're gonna do, Mr. Chiron, is we are going to heal. I'm going to teach you everything under the sun because I am the sun. So Apollo teaches Chiron medicine and architecture and archery and astrology and botany and any other E or ology. He teaches Chiron everything. Okay, so Chiron is able to heal some of those traumas that he has inherited. He's able to help people. He's able to initiate people and see their traumas and fix that for them. Okay, to make the long story short, yeah, Chiron was the sauce. He was great. Okay. And he had a lot of energy and a lot of information and wisdom and understanding that he was able to share with the world. And a lot of those heroes from Greek mythology were trained by Chiron, okay? But this story has a rather bittersweet ending. Chiron can't get over his freaking mutation, man. He was born like that. So in an act of martyrdom, sacrifice, Chiron gives his life in suicide to help other people cross the river Styx, go to Hades, go to the underworld, help them transform, aka evolve. You guys know Pluto's evolution. So, thus the wounded healer archetype was born, okay? And we only discovered this planetoid, asteroid, comet thing. And you guys see the definition of whatever this planetary body is very similar to what the fuck is this horseman thing? How do we define it? It's very difficult. You might see the horse and say, hey, that's a freaking equestrian. Or you might see the human and say, no, that's a person. And go either way. Doesn't really matter. It is what it is. And labels are limiting to begin with. So this is that wounded healer archetype. Every person has Chiron in their birth chart. Everybody has this wounding energy or a disempowered energy or a pain or a trauma. A lot of times your actual traumas in your life can mirror or reflect the Chiron placement in your birth chart. From sign placement, house position, aspects to Chiron, everybody deals with this wounding energy. We're talking about the spot between Saturn and Uranus. Saturn is the school of hard knocks, hard physical reverberations. The best way I can explain Saturn's energy, because it governs physicality and your body and everything that corresponds to the five senses, is running into a wall with your face. You run into that wall, your face hits it, you bounce back, your nervous system turns on and says, dude, that hurt. That shit hurted. Don't do that again. So then you manifest pain, and then you find out there's a boundary there. So next time you see a wall, you don't run right into it. Or maybe you look a little bit more, you pay more attention. That's how you work with the energy of Saturn. So this spiritual pain that Chiron brings, this disempowered energy in the soul, helps us initiate into the planets past Saturn. Because Saturn is that boundary of the solar system, boundary of the body, boundary of the human eye, okay? Of the humanity, the body. You guys know there's more than just physicality to this world. When we go into those further out planets, those outer planets, these are different polarities of the inner planets. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, Mercury being the lower octave of Uranus. So these are higher vibrational thoughts rather than just left brain communication, okay? Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Rather than indulging in love and value and just appreciating and compromising with pleasure, now we are using unconditional love and acceptance and spirituality and our imagination and creativity. Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. Mars rules our sex drive and our animalistic lower chakras and willpower, desire, the thing that gets you out of bed, aggression energy. The higher manifestation of these lower chakras is evolution or destruction. People who don't tap into these spiritual natures experience Pluto through the sub and unconscious because they're not consciously working with these. When you work with the energy of Chiron, you can initiate into the higher spiritual aspects of your life, okay? Chiron rules the integration of spirit into the body, okay? Chiron is a 50-year cycle. So whenever you turn 50, 51, it's a very elliptical orbit. Most of the planets besides Pluto orbit circularly around our sun. Chiron doesn't give a fuck about none of that. It's like, let's go elliptical. So the sign placements can be a little bit incongruent as far as dividing that 50-year cycle into 12 signs. Chiron has a strange orbit. So it's very important that you look at your chart and figure out where Chiron is for you, okay? Because it is the initiator. Once you deal with that pain, that disempowering energy, that trauma, and figure out how to raise your dimensionality, bring your spirit into your body, through healing, you can step into the higher planets, okay? And I want to tell you guys something physical. I think the message is out there. Y'all can do your own research or book me for a natal chart reading. Something physical that directly mirrors the energy of Chiron. And anybody here on the healing journey already knows this intuitively, how this works. So Chiron, being far away from the sun, past Saturn, is very cold. It's got an icy tail. It does operate kind of like a comet. So whenever the sun's rays hit Chiron, the planetary body, this ice on the planet, the icy tail, transmutes directly from solid straight to gas. It skips liquid entirely. And you guys know, if you are on the healing path or you've overcome any trauma at all, ever, when you have this dense trauma or this emotional trauma or emotional baggage or some sort of event that's got you taking, giving your power away, or it's taking your power, it's got you feel disempowered, when you have the willingness and the intention and the tool to pay attention to this trauma, it hurts, right? That's how healing is. But whenever you work with the pain, that disempowerment, and you pay attention to it, aka conscious solar attention, aka sun energy, it lightens up, and then it releases, and then it's gone, and then it goes and recycles into the universe where it's supposed to go. Better out than in, they say. So we got to heal our traumas, guys. And if you feel disconnected from your body, you feel like your spirit hasn't really made it in yet, work with the energy of Chiron. I love y'all. If you need help with your astrology, go to my website, simplifiedastrology.com.